Do you think Maxine Walters is full of shit?
This is a man who we better be careful about. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the president to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack.
Maxine, shut the f*** up. Trump supporters aren't planning some type of attack. The only thing they're planning once Donald Trump is in office is a much-needed vacation. They'll actually have the money to do it. But hey, weren't you the one encouraging people to go attack people on Trump's administration when he was in office?
Up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack.
Okay, folks, so there you go. Now, so apparently Trump supporters are training up in the hills for a so-called coordinated attack, a luncheon, a buffet. I'm not sure. Most likely, if Republicans are up in the hills training, it will be the people that she thinks, like hillbillies and stuff, it will be for a potluck. And so this is super dangerous. Remember, the extremists are the ones who want traditional values. They want families. They just want to be left alone. But apparently they're extreme. Wanting to go milk your own cows and raise chickens for food is super, super extreme radical. Ignore the protests right now and ignore the billions of dollars in damage that Antifa and BLM did in 2020 that Maxine Waters instigated. Yes, you did, honey. You did that. No, she is coming up again because my suspicion is that, as I even wrote here, she got the memo from the CIA. Hey, Maxine, go out there and lay the groundwork for our planned and targeted violence every 4 years against U.S. citizens and property sponsored by our paid Antifa operatives, just in case Trump gets voted in. And yes, folks, they are getting nervous because one thing, the elites like her, champagne socialist communists, they can't stand is to have the plebes that they so love, that they say they love, the workers. It's the workers. They hate the workers. That's never been true. Communists, they detest the workers. They loathe the workers. If there's one of the biggest illusions in Marxist theory, it's that they respect the rights of workers. They don't. They don't respect the rights of anybody. In fact, it's the greatest human rights travesty in the world have been all communist nations. Even more so than, yes, what you deem as the evil capitalist countries. No, communists have done more. Yeah, throw in a couple of fascists, but let's move on here. So Representative Maxine Waters launches new conspiracy theory that Trump supporters are training up the hills for a coordinated attack. I don't know. In my side of the family, that's just like, we will go up into the hills, but we will have a family reunion or a potluck. And that's pretty extreme. I'll tell you right now, throwing a beef chuck in a pot on slow roast and having it 12 hours later with potato salad, I'd say that's super extreme with carrots in Jello. Yeah, so that's what we eat out here, right? that's the going joke here out in Utah. So Waters also called on the DOJ to investigate this made-up threat in her head, which most of these are. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department, I'm going to ask the president to tell us what we're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know all about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack. I don't know, but she definitely is playing into their hands. But that's her job. That's her role. She's only passed what? Let's take a gander at this and we'll see the achievements of Maxine Waters. Okay, who is this nasty little cutie that comes out every 4 years, noted, and makes her face known and does the rounds on social media. Warning! of these Trump supporters. Well, let's see. Maxine Waters, she only passed 3 bills during her 27 years in Congress. One of them was naming a post office. Yeah, she has fought the good fight. Owns a $4.3 million mansion in Hancock Park outside of her district. Yeah, why would she want to live in her district? They don't. Used $750,000 of campaign funds to pay her daughter to mail out flyers. Yeah, okay, we'll see how much work her daughter really did. Has connections with radical Holocaust denier Louis Farrakhan. No wonder she's been voted most corrupt member of Congress 4 times. And so the deep state will point the finger, or Biden regime will do this. They'll go, hey, it's your turn. We did good for you. We supported and funded your campaigns, so you owe us. And this is what you need to do. You need to go around and make the rounds on social media, on mainstream media, and drum up, get the war drums beating, get those things going. Because we need to instill fear in the populace again. We need to manipulate again. And of course, there she is saying, remember this when she, and I'm not even going to play it, I don't want to even hear her voice, but she was saying, if you see Republicans or conservatives, surround them, mob them at their homes, at the restaurants, at gas stations, at grocery stores. Okay, so terrorize them, right? So she promotes terror, but because there is a two-tiered justice system right now, she's not being arrested for these calls of violence upon her opponents. Okay, Cullen says, I am requesting that the DOJ investigate this incident. Waters is clearly preparing for violence. Well, of course. And that's what they want to do. They're going to try to make as much of a muckery and a mess of around from now on. Okay, 2024, I mean, they started right off the bat at the new year, started just hammering, going at it with the lawfare again against Trump, anybody who's an ally of Trump. I mean, they're just going full board. This is how much they have a lust for power, okay? And so, let's see, and he's showing this video because of what a hypocrite she was. Juanita Broderick says, video is several years old. We know that, Juanita. Anyway, that's not the point. Statute of limitations is 10 years. There's enough time to charge her. Oh, well, interesting. The Appalachian Podcast says, we're flattered she thinks we think about her that much. So these are the true hillbillies, okay? Why would we come down from the hills when we're doing a fine job eating themselves alive, when they're doing a fine job? Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. All her supporters are tearing each other's faces off on college campuses, and she's afraid of Trump supporters training in the hills. Yeah, this is what she's really trying to drum up. But I believe that this new, what would you call it? Communist Islamism? It's like a mash of Islam and communism. Get this thing going on these campuses right now. 2 leftist groups converging with very opposing interests, okay? The one interest that they share in common is they both want totalitarian control, okay, of the United States, one or the other. And eventually it's going to come to a point where it doesn't sync, because Sharia law and LGBTQ issues don't sync at all in any way. So yeah, these are the people calling MAGA a cult right here. Yes, it's the mass cult on the left here, CNN, MSNBC, Big Pharma, climate change, Ukraine, that entire apostate group of people from the river to the sea. This is all one of the biggest cults I've ever seen, actually. But I don't know, if you hold up an American flag, you're an extreme radical right now. So I don't know. But Salty Goat says, setting the stage for mass chaos and seeding the narrative. Of course. We've seen this. They gave us a pretty good dress rehearsal back in 2020, so you can name out the steps pretty easy. As he says here, that tells me that they know they're going to lose, and they're hoping for some sort of J6 type of incident that they can play off of. We've seen their playbook and won't let them pull the same BS twice. Yes, we have seen the FBI's noted, I don't know who's, I assume it's the FBI, that the Patriot Front, which is a bunch of interns and people who make copies at the office, and people that they recruit from colleges who want to be in the FBI. They've recruited them to be the part of this Patriot Front group. They go around. They're all skinny kids. They all shop at they've got Old Navy outfits. They are the most organized group of right-wing extremists I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that they're not fat at all and they're actually physically fit, and they're all about 20 years old, just tells me right off the bat, these are not right-wing extremists or whatever you want to play them off to be. These are feds, okay? And most people know that. If you've waken up, most people know that. And so they'll probably get these types to go in there and create some type of thing where it's like, hey, look, we're a right-wing extremist group and we're going to do crazy stuff and cause chaos, and with the hopes that the public will go, oh my gosh, see, I knew it. The right-wing extremists, there they are. But what we really know is the majority of these people, if they do something like that, they will be like CIA assets, deep state operatives, interns, Antifa that they've hired to do this, just like they did with J6 too. There were what did they say? They were talking about like over 200 FBI assets and operatives in the crowd itself. I would say quite a bit of the crowd was made up of the actual feds themselves. So they're setting the stage to cause chaos. Remember, anarcho-tyranny is the word of the day here, right? So Maxine Waters has incited riots against white people her entire career, yes. She's projecting when she accuses Trump supporters of preparing for violence. In reality, it's leftists who are currently committing violence on college campuses and in cities all over the U.S., yes. And that's all I saw in 2020, too, is I saw an entire summer of violence and destruction and vandalism, and yes, even murder. By who? By the left, by Antifa, by BLM. Yes, it did happen. And remember the Chaz zone, the autonomous zone in Seattle? Yeah, within about 2 days of opening that zone of peace and independence that the lefties wanted, there were 2 black kids that were murdered right away. These autonomous zones end up being pretty darn violent and pretty horrible anyway, and lacking in showers for sure, no showers whatsoever. Pretty rich to suggest that Trump supporters are engaging in militant training when her base is currently pledging support to terrorist networks and being praised by Iran. Ooh, yeah, might want to check up on that one, Maxine. But we know Maxine Waters, what she is. She is truly, if you don't look at this beautiful, cute little face, this adorable face, and just go, this is a person who has your best interest in mind, then you are, you're mistaken. So Sherry says, this means the Dems have something very bad planned. Well, of course. They always accuse us of what they are up to. Machiavelli, right? Not good. Maxine Waters just doing her daily race baiting and fear mongering. Daily. But remember, when she shows up big time on mainstream media and you notice that she's doing a tour of all the networks all at the same time, it's not an accident. It's that somebody gave her a memo and said, it's time to beat those war drums. Okay, Maxine? And so, Sassafras84 says the only time Trump supporters were organized was J6 until paid agitators showed up. I love the projection here. It just means something is up with the left. Whatever they accuse us of, they're doing it. History constantly shows this. Never forget the summer of love. Yeah, and so is Maxine talking about the kind of violence we saw when Trump was inaugurated? Yep, here's some Antifa, here's paid agitators right back here in 2017, breaking windows. And the arrests, there were arrests, but they were immediately let go. Why? Because they're paid agitators. These are assets for the feds. And do I think all of the feds are bad? No, of course not. But I just think that there is a certain segment right now that definitely needs a performance review. So anyway, here they are making chaos. Oh, it's Trump. Look at this, Trump. Nope, these were all lefties busting things down, hitting people over the head, basically sending Andy No to the hospital. So yeah, that's what we mean. That's why she acts all afraid, because I'm like, no, it's because you think that they're going to do the same violence that you perpetrated and you had your cronies perpetrated in 2020 via Antifa and many others. You need to tell her that we're coming for her and hell's coming with us. Your reign of corruption has ended. Donald Trump said, one day we will launch an investigation into the Marxists and thugs who attempted to interfere with the election. Garland, Biden, Smith, the list goes on and on. Engoron, Nipplegate, remember that when Judge Engoron was showing off pictures of himself, that scrawny, nasty lizard judge that was showing pictures, sending them to his alumni, like comrades of him in the gym with his shirt off and all this stuff. It's just, ugh. Anyway, liberalism is a mental disorder. Well, that's a given. Let's see here. This lady is legit batshit crazy. She can't help herself. She always spills the tea. That's probably what Antifa is doing. Yes, and we've learned our lessons, folks. Not everybody has, but many, many more people have waken up. I think COVID, believe it or not, I will say it, in one sense, it was a bit of a blessing. Now, I'm not saying it was good. I absolutely wish it would never have happened. Of course, so many people were affected, died, were injured. But in another sense, though, it gave people, it snapped them out of it. It snapped us as a society out of the Disneyland mode that we were in for so long. The brave new world, let's be distracted. Are those distractions still there? Of course they are. But many more people have waken up. So Kathleen Winchell says, I remember when she told everybody to get in their faces during the summer of love. Yeah, so they're getting up there. Anyway, so I just thought I would bring that up, darn tootin' Maxine, and here it is right here. This is really what's going on. Okay, this is really the problem right now. And do I believe there's some great Muslims out there? Of course. Great Jews, great Christians? Of course. Some good atheists? Of course. But this is a political agenda by terrorists right now. This is a bigger group. This is a larger, well-funded group. And this is what you're seeing. The real problem right now is this on college campuses, Islamism. Anyway, so just wanted to throw that at you. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. If you haven't already, please like the video. If you haven't, put a like on it. That would help with the algorithm immensely. And please comment below. I'm always curious right now as to see what people's opinions are. So anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.